All right, let's get right into it. In this explainer, we are going to build out a complete step-by-step blueprint for what it takes to become a modern AI engineer. We're talking everything, from the ground-up basics all the way to deploying real production-level systems.
So here's the roadmap for our journey. We'll kick things off by figuring out what AI engineers actually build. Then we'll lay down the coding foundation, get a feel for the core AI and math concepts, then dive into the super exciting modern generative stack. After that, we'll cover the huge leap from prototype to production and wrap it all up with your first project. Okay, first things first, we need to define what this role is really all about. Because at its heart, an AI engineer is a builder. They're the ones who live at that awesome intersection of software engineering, AI knowledge, and, having a vision for a product.
So that brings us to a really fundamental question, right? Is the AI engineer of today a researcher? Someone buried in academic papers and complex math? Or are they a builder, someone who's out there in the trenches turning all those cool ideas into something real? The answer to this really sets the stage for everything else.
And the answer is, they're builders. Absolutely. Their main job is to create practical apps that solve actual problems. They're the ones putting together the systems you see here. Things like chatbots, powerful RAG pipelines that hook AI up to private data, and even autonomous agents that can go off and do complex things on their own. This quote just nails it. It perfectly captures the biggest challenge and the biggest opportunity for an AI engineer right now. Look, anyone can whip up a quick demo, but taking it from a cool little toy to a reliable, scalable, and secure system that real people can depend on, well, that's a whole different ballgame. That's the real work. So if we're going to build, where do we start? Well, every single powerful AI system is built on a solid foundation of software engineering. This is the bedrock, and trust me, you can't skip this part. And the absolute 100% non-negotiable first step is getting really good at Python. Why? Simple. The entire AI world runs on it. Think about OpenAI, LangChain, Hugging Face. They're all Python first. It's just the language of AI. End of story. And you can approach learning Python in a really structured way. First, just get the basics down, the fundamental building blocks. Then you've got to wrap your head around object-oriented programming, or OOP, because that's how you build big, organized applications. And finally, get your hands dirty with essential libraries like NumPy and Pandas. You're going to be using these pretty much every single day. And let's be super clear about something. AI engineering is software engineering. It's not some separate, magical thing. That means you have to know these tools. You need Git to manage your code, Docker to keep your environments consistent, something like FastAPI to actually serve your AI model as an API, and PyTest to make sure the whole thing doesn't fall apart. Okay, foundation is poured. Now it's time to start putting up the main structure. And this part isn't about becoming a PhD-level mathematician. It's about getting an intuitive feel for how and why these models actually work. I love this quote because it puts the role of math in the right perspective. It's about intuition, not deep academic theory. Your job isn't to invent a new algorithm from scratch. It's to understand the existing ones well enough to pick the right tool for the job and know what to do when things go wrong. So what we're aiming for here is a strong conceptual grasp. Think of linear algebra as the language of data. Probability helps you understand uncertainty. And calculus, well, that gives you the aha moment for how these models actually learn and get better over time. At the end of the day, a lot of machine learning just boils down to these two big ideas. With supervised learning, you're basically showing the model the answers. You give it a bunch of pictures of cats labeled cat, and it learns what a cat looks like. With unsupervised learning, you just dump all the data on it and say, you figure it out. It's the model's job to find the hidden patterns, all on its own. And right at the very heart of almost all modern AI is this thing called a neural network. The easiest way to think about it is like a mini brain with all these interconnected nodes that process information. It's this structure that lets it learn super complex patterns, from telling a cat from a dog to understanding the subtle meaning in a sentence. All right, our structure is up. Now comes the fun part. We're going to bring this thing to life with the modern generative stack. This is where we move beyond the traditional stuff and step into the wild world of large language models. So if you look at this chart, it gives you a really clear picture of where an AI engineer is spending their time these days. It is all about large language models. A huge chunk of the job is just understanding how LLMs work, getting good at prompt engineering, and building these RAG systems. LLMs are, without a doubt, the new center of the AI universe. And speaking of RAG, It is probably the single most in-demand skill right now. Why? Because it's the bridge between a general-purpose AI and your specific private data. An LLM on its own knows about the world, but RAG lets it know about your world, your company's internal documents, your support tickets, your personal notes. It's a game changer. So, building a RAG system basically means creating a smart data pipeline. You start by chopping up your documents into smaller bits. That's chunking. Then you use a model to turn those text chunks into numbers, or embeddings, that capture their meaning. You stick all those numbers in a special kind of database, a vector database, that's built for this. And finally, when a user asks something, you find the most relevant chunks and feed them to the LLM along with the question.
Now, this is where things get really wild. We're starting to move beyond just RAG and into what's called agentic AI. Here, the AI isn't just answering questions. It's reasoning, it's planning, and it's taking action. It can use tools, call APIs, and even work with other AI agents to get really complex multi-step jobs done. It's pretty mind-blowing stuff.
Look, making a cool demo that works on your own computer is one thing, but building an AI system that thousands of real people can rely on every day, that's a completely different universe of challenges. This is honestly where most projects fail, but it's also where you create all the value.
Yeah, that jump from your laptop to a real production environment, it changes everything. The questions you ask are totally different. It's not just, hey, does it work? It's, how fast is it? How much does each API call cost? What happens if it goes down? And can it handle a sudden spike of 1,000 users all at once? And this is where a whole discipline called LLMOps comes in. It's all about the practices you need to run these things for real. It means treating your prompts like code, with version control. It means logging and observing everything so you know what's going on. And it means automating your deployments to the cloud. It's the ops that makes the dev useful. Okay, so we've walked through the entire blueprint. We've gone from the code foundation all the way to production-ready systems. But all of this is just theory. It doesn't mean anything without the last and honestly most important step. You actually have to go build something. The only way any of this is going to stick, the only way you're going to truly understand the challenges we talked about, is to get your hands dirty and build something. Anything. So you've got the map. The only question left to answer is, what problem are you going to solve first?